Well, hello everyone. This is Sarah Taddeo with the Democratic Chronicle here at the D&C Digital studio. And I'm here with Barbara Moore. She's the treasurer at the Rochester chapter for the National Organization for Women. And she's here to talk a little bit about her experience with the election and just kind of going forward in the aftermath here. So Barbara, thanks so much for coming in and talking with us. My first question is, really, I think a lot of people didn't expect this result, and we're sort of shocked watching it unfold last night. What was your first reaction when you started to see what was going on?
Oh, disbelievement, shock. I mean, how can this be happening when you work so hard and believe in Hillary so much as we did? We were all together, Rochester Now and other people from other women's organizations at the American Association University Women House last night. And so it was just total disbelief. How can this be happening? But it did.
Yeah, it's amazing because so many of the polls were off. And so I guess one question that we're asking ourselves is, and I want to ask you, how do you think it went so wrong in that sort of area in terms of people's assumptions of how it was going to go?
I know, and I'm asking myself that too, and I don't think I know the answer. And what's one of the things that we used to say, the difference between the Trump campaign and the Hillary campaign was that Hillary was based on facts. Trump was shown not to show the truth and not facts. And so you always kind of think the polls were really factual. So when they didn't show up, weren't truth, I don't know. And I don't know why it didn't go the way it should have, in our opinion, obviously.
No, it's pretty amazing that, it did go, but that's how it goes sometimes, and you just kind of have to go with it, I guess. But one thing that happened here in Rochester yesterday was something that drew national attention, which was thousands of people going to Susan B. Anthony's grave in Mount Hope Cemetery. And I heard that you went as well. You were there.
I was one of many. That's what I woke up this morning and I said, I got to concentrate on that. That was such a positive experience. Seeing so many women and their children, and of course men, and everybody thanking Susan B. Anthony for her work in getting women the vote. I brought a yellow rose, which is the symbol of women's suffrage. That's what they use. Matter of fact, when the last person voted to get the women the right to vote, and I think it was in Tennessee, they wore yellow roses on their lapels or something. So it was quite a moving experience, and it's one I don't think I'll ever forget.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that was a very Rochester-centric experience, I think, because obviously nobody else has that sort of place that they can go and kind of make a pilgrimage, I guess. What do you think that says about Rochester voters and maybe the pride that they have?
Oh yeah, and I think I think we've not always think about Susan B. Anthony. Yeah, she's got that house down on Madison Street, and when our out-of-town company comes, we might take them there. But yesterday, with that voting for a woman on the top of a ticket, it brought her to light. And one more thing that I have to remember that Susan B. Anthony said, and that is, failure is impossible. So we may not have elected a woman yesterday, but it's going to happen. We got to get back there. We've got to, brush ourselves off. Take the time to mourn, but then we got to get back there and work and say, we will get a woman elected. Failure is impossible.
Absolutely, and I was going to say, there are so many other fronts, I guess, to fight for as a woman or to fight on. And so how do you see yourselves going forward with your organization and just as a woman personally? What are our next steps in terms of,
we're going to have our work cut out for us. If Trump delivers on what his campaign speeches are, our biggest concern is, of course, who he's going to nominate for the Supreme Court. He is, and one time in one interview, he said women who have abortions should be put in jail, thrown in jail. I think he turned himself around on that one. But equal pay for equal work, family leave, and of course, we finally have affordable health care, which is a big concern for women. There are so many women who are sole providers of their children, and that health care is so important to them, and we can't let that happen. We can't take away the rights, and so much we've gained so much. So it's going to be a tough fight, but we've been there. We've had so many fights. I've been a women's rights activist, a feminist for over 40 years. So I have had so many setbacks, victories, but a lot of setbacks. So we just pick ourselves up and we just start working again. We have to.
That's good. That's good. Is there anything else you would say to women who are kind of walking away from this feeling disheartened, feeling, like they have the blues a little bit? Anything else you would say to encourage them right now?
Well, yeah, I would say that, first of all, I know a lot of people are feeling bad for Hillary, and I'm one of them. She's, she works so hard, but she is such a good hard worker. She's so passionate about women's and girls' issues and families' issues. I think she'll have a bright future. I don't see her, going to bed and putting the covers over her head. I see her dusting herself up, getting out to work, and maybe the silver lining is that she won't have all these shackles of the politics of, weighing her down, and I think she's going to do great things. So that's one thing. I think I know she came so close, and she was such a good campaigner that other women will run and do that.
She plays the trail, yeah.
But it also shows that we just can't take anything for granted. We get these rights, but we got to keep working for them, and we got to keep on chugging away and getting people. And it also shows we got to get out there and vote. Everybody has to vote.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm glad for everyone who did that yesterday. And that was a positive outlook of this election, I guess.
And one of our very positive outlooks is that Congresswoman Louise Slaughter was reelected, and she's a very good friend who now we've supported her in every election, and so that was a very good outcome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Barbara, for coming in and talking with us today. Make sure you check out the rest of our election coverage. We've got tons of stories on our website at democratandchronicle.com, all spelled out. Thanks for checking out this interview. Have a great rest of your day.